It is a 1940 Chevrolet convertible. Cabriolet. My father, Walter O. McCarty, lived at Sherman. He was in the Army. He took his basic training in Camp Blanding, Florida. He was stationed there, and my mother lived in the little town of Stark, Florida, there where the camp was, and she was working in the ticket booth there. And my dad and her had met, and they had dated some, and they fell in love. Then my dad came back home in November of 1945 and told his parents that he had found this lady in Florida that he had fell in love with, and he wanted to marry her. So he went and bought this car from Guy Gravelly Jr. and he left on December 15th, went and picked my mother up in Stark, Florida, and they stopped at a courthouse in Georgia and got married by a justice of the peace and went on their honeymoon to El Paso, Texas, where my dad was stationed at Fort Bliss. They went on their honeymoon, and we have pictures of them on their honeymoon in this vehicle. My last memory of being in this car was my family and I had gone to Fulton, Mississippi to visit with some family friends, and we were coming back on the old two-lane highway. It was pouring down rain, and we met an 18-wheeler, and it blew the top off of the car, so we had to drive home in the rain. But that's the last recollection I have of riding in the car. And my dad parked it in 1957 and bought a 52 Chevrolet. He was a mechanic, and he had a lot of junk cars out in the pasture. Well, he parked this car out in the pasture with all of his other junk cars, and then he passed away in 1969. 3 years later, my older brother pulled it into the barn with anticipation of one day restoring it. My mom passed away in 2006, and my husband convinced me to pull the car out of the barn. My brother had pulled it in the barn in probably 72, and my husband convinced me to pull the old car out and get it restored in my mom and dad's honor. So we found a man, a good friend of ours in Amory, named Dwayne Laney, who restored it for us. And since we've gotten it back, I've been excited about it. I was a little reluctant at first with the cost of restoring it, but it's been well worth it. And it drives like a dream. I love to drive it. I love the sound of the exhaust. I like to drive pretty fast anyway myself, and it just really sounds cool. I love to drive it. I love to rev it up and listen to the engine.